All right, we're still climbing out.
All right, climb checklist.
Electric fuel pumps off, landing
Roger.
lights off, wing tip lights is off.
I'd leave everything lit. I mean, that's just me, but because they're LEDs. I mean, if you have an old 60-watt bulb, yeah, but...
Kevin said the same thing. Leave them on.
Yeah, the idea is you want, like the headlight on your car. You don't know how many times it saved your life by somebody seeing that.
Yeah, that's true. I like your thought process there.
But if I had like Dean's airplane with a regular 60-watt, $50 pop bulb, I'd shut it off then. There's Lake Terramuggus and Lake Puketibog. We'll pass Terramuggus and then we'll set up with a clearing turn. Clearing turn is a 90-degree turn, either left or right. We'll make it right in this case, which will give us more separation with that dude.
Your private pilot certificate never expires, but the FAA mandates every 2 years you go through a flight review with a certified flight instructor. My last flight review was in 2024, right before I started YouTubing, so I'm coming up on my third year as an aviation YouTuber. Here are some highlights from my flight review from yesterday over Connecticut. In this video, I'll show you some slow flight maneuvers with a power off stall, a 180-degree turn after losing power, and a simulated engine failed landing attempt. I would like to thank Bob Valli, my CFI, who is the recipient of the FAA's Wright Brothers Master Pilot Award in 2025. The award is given to pilots having 50 years accident-free. As a pilot, this is a goal I also wish to achieve for myself.
We're going to take it just past the lake, and I would like you to set us up for a slow flight and fly us right at VMC. Using whatever techniques you wish. We're going to maintain heading and altitude at that, right at...
Oh, you want to maintain 200?
Yeah, 200, yeah. And we want to fly it right where that stall warning is flashing at us.
I haven't done slow flight in forever.
Yep. I call that my crashing speed. In other words, if I'm going to ditch into the trees or into some farm field, that's how slow. It also shows you that when we're doing an approach at 75 or 80, the airplane is actually quite controllable at 60. It's just that when you're down that slow, a power change or a pitch change will put you into a stall, which you don't want to do.
What I'm doing here is scanning my instruments to see what the plane is doing. In the upper left is my airspeed. I want to slowly bring it down to 60 miles an hour. The next instrument to my right is my Garmin G5. I'm comparing its altitude with the altitude indicator to its immediate right, looking to maintain around 3,000. And then looping back around clockwise is a vertical speed indicator. I want my needle to be around 0, my heading 220. And then the turn coordinator, I'm trying to keep the ball centered, and I'm actually pushing a lot harder on the right rudder to make sure that the airplane is coordinated. I'm also feeling the flight instruments to see the control surfaces, how effective they are at this speed.
Let's see if we can get right about down to 60. We have a forward CG, so an airplane pretty much recovers from a stall by itself. Pitch in for airspeed, power for altitude.
I got right rudder in. I'm at 66.
Oh, let's try even down to 60. Try a few less turns, see how fairly controllable this airplane is. Even so, if you were landing in a 1,400-foot grass runway, or let's say you're landing in Alton Bay, you might want to fly the over the threshold at 60 rather than 70, considering there's no
flight control
no
still
braking
feel
action.
effective, yeah.
Yeah. So the airplane is really flyable at this low airspeed. You want that little bit of stall margin, so you wouldn't normally fly this slow, but if you had a very good reason to land like this, it's perfectly good. Now, if you slam the throttle to idle or pitch up, boom, she's going to stall on you. All right, let's make a gentle turn to a heading of 090. Maintain 60 miles per hour.
090.
Clear left. Notice that a very, very shallow bank, and P-factor is pulling you through the turn. All right, I'd like to try a power off stall. So all I want you to do is just bring the throttle to idle and try to maintain 3,000 feet, which will be relatively impossible with no power. So bring right to idle. Starting to buff it. There we go. Good. Full power. Beautiful. Start getting rid of the flaps. That way you get lift without the drag. Good, good. There you go. Nicely done.
A little too much right rudder, just a hair.
Yeah, a little bit.
All
And
right,
notice
we're clean.
Yeah.
We got a positive rate.
All right, let's try with no flaps now. Same deal. Power back. Easy on the throttle. They're going to rate to idle. Try and maintain 3,000. Bring it right to dead idle. Then you're in the flare.
These controls feel like shit.
Yep. It's all about rudder. Ailerons just decoration. There we go. Full power. Good.
Too much rudder.
All right, you're diving. All you want to do is for the recovery of the stalls, get airspeed. So you recovered the aerodynamically in about 50 feet, but with the nose down,
yeah,
you lose 300.
It's so
you're down.
weird to, if I'm not looking at the ground reference.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to pretend we lost the engine. All right, we're going to climb. Watch. Idle. Bank. I unload the nose, and watch how fast it turns to a heading of west. We lost 100, 200, 300, 400. So we did a 180 turn. We lost only 400 feet. Does that mean if you lose the engine on takeoff that you bank over and you can make the runway at 400 feet? Hell no, because we got a friggin' dike there.
Yeah.
But that's actually a maneuver that you can use to get back to a runway. One tool in your toolbox. Let's pull it right to idle. You just lost your engine.
Wyndham traffic, Cherokee 73 November is in the upwind, runway 27, departing the area to the west. Last call, Wyndham.
Wyndham traffic, Archer 33120, short final runway 27, Wyndham.
Okay, right for the friggin' runway.
Wyndham traffic, 25 Alpha Victor, we're entering the 45, 2 miles out.
Wait.
Downwind for 27, Wyndham.
They'll drop like a rock if you put them in. I wait till I can see the trees below the threshold. All right, now throw her in. Also, we got some standing snow on the runway. Looking good. Good job. All right, watch your speeds. Don't go too fast. All right, well, you're ready to idle. I'd go full flaps if you're not there already.
We are.
Okay, very good. Slow her down. Runway is made. Beauteous.
Wyndham traffic, 25 Alpha Victor on downwind for 27.
You'd pass a commercial check right with that shot. Good. Watch out for just where she'll slide.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get clear of it, and I'm going to go over here.
Yeah. Excellent.
All right, fuel pump's off, my lights off.
Yeah, bar's over. Now we're fun flying. You've done all maneuvers.